Our confidence factor is through the roof right now.
Just having Dalton Pence in this room makes me feel tougher. There's no doubt about that.
When Dalton Pence goes to the mound, I'm like, well, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
And when he's in here podcasting with us, I'm like, well, this podcast is about to be awesome.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like everything you do is awesome. Thanks for being with us.
I try to. Thanks for having me.
Incredible weekend in Chapel Hill, incredible weekend at Boshamer Stadium. What was it like in the dugout on the field as Carolina advances through the Chapel Hill Regional?
I mean, it was awesome. Just the whole weekend in general, all the fans coming out. I mean, I think every game we played was sold out. I mean, there was people standing on the field hockey stadium, out behind right field. I mean, it was just a great atmosphere. The fans really showed up for us this weekend, and I mean, that's something helped us play for. So, I mean, it was awesome.
Can you feel that? I mean, does it make a difference when it's packed in there? And I know the ACC tournament, y'all played in front of a big crowd as well in that weight game. But, I mean, does that feel different to you?
It does as a player, like especially in the bigger situations when that crowd gets going and they get loud, like you don't feel anything as a player. I mean, the one ground ball last night up the middle, it hit off my leg, and I just didn't feel it. Like it hit, like I felt it hit, but I didn't, like it didn't hurt. So, I mean, like it makes a difference in the players.
Can we explain to baseball fans that when the other team is pitching, you don't have to get quiet when they throw a pitch.
Yeah.
No.
Like, you can keep cheering and actually make it more difficult for them. Because I feel like there's some unwritten rule at Boshamer Stadium that like, there were some times Monday night when LSU was pitching and people would get quiet as the ball was being
I think
delivered.
it was nerves more than
You don't have to do that. Just be loud, right?
Yeah, we like it when the fans get loud for us. I mean, it's an awesome feeling as a team and as players. I mean, we like that our fans back us up.
Okay, so you're out there. We got a lot to talk about, but let's talk about like the final. Right when he hit that last ball, I was like, oh, crap. And I was like, okay, center field. There's plenty of room out there. Was there any moment for just a second where you're like, ooh? Because I saw you gave it like the half, like, ooh, yeah, it's a fly ball.
Kind of, as soon as it came off the bat, I kind of got a little scared. But then I saw Vance out there, and I was like, well, if it's close to being over, he's going to get it.
Yeah.
And if it's barely over, he's probably going to get it. But as soon as I saw him stop his feet, I knew we were going to move on to the Supers. So it was a great feeling.
Have you ever given the point up in the air and then the ball goes out?
No, I have not.
Ooh,
I take pride that I've not done that yet. So
perfect record. Like,
yeah.
So what's that moment like? Like you've got like, I think there was some question going into that 10th, like, will Dalton stay on the mound? Is Carolina going to make a move? And to hear that, hey, we want you with the ball. What's that moment like for you?
I mean, it's a great feeling knowing that the coaches have that trust in me. And I got the guys behind me that are backing me up. I mean, every inning that I came out there, out from the dugout, I mean, everybody's just patting me on the back like, hey, let's go. Like, you're the one to do it. Let's do it. And so, I mean, it's just great knowing the guys behind me are there for me and there for each other. And it's an awesome situation to be in.
Was there a conversation of, have you got anything left?
No, not really. I think they just came out there and they knew that I was putting everything into every pitch. And he basically, when he came out there, after I had walked the 3-hole, he was like, this is your game. We're not going to take you out here, but just be smart, make your pitches, don't try to do too much, kind of a thing.
Speaking of your pitches, we had Casey Cook in here last week, and he was talking about your fastball. And he said, you can't hit it. He said, it's not like 103 miles an hour or anything. He said, but it's got so much ride on it, I don't feel like I can hit it. How do you do that?
Honestly, I don't know, and that's surprising coming from Casey because he tells me all the time that he hits nukes off of him. But
Man, he was just being classy here.
He's yet to do it. So, but I mean, coming from him, that's a great compliment. I mean, I hear from a lot of people that I just have a good ride fastball, and it just gets on hitters, and I guess it's deceptive from my arm slot, how I get down the mound, I don't know. But
for somebody listening who's like, what does that even mean? He's got good ride on his fastball. Like how would that show up?
It just gets on a hitter faster. It doesn't have the normal drop as a dead zone fastball is what they call it. So it just kind of surprises the hitter, quickens up on them. So like they'll say like a 93 mile an hour fastball will play up to 95, 96, so to say.
You've got really big hands. So does that help you when you're pitching? Like, how does that?
I think so. It helps.
Like, first of all, you agree you have big hands.
I do. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. We'll just make sure we're all on the same page here.
Yep.
So how does that help when you're pitching?
I think it just helps like gripping the ball, just manipulating it.
Yeah.
between pitches, that kind of thing.
Adam knows what's coming up next. All right, you got to put your hand up to Adam because Adam's got little baby hands. Oh wait, no, you can't. Yeah, go to. Yeah, look at that. He's got a full third of the finger above you.
I think Dalton's got a little more right on the fastball than I do.
Yeah, a little bit more in there.
Yeah. But apart from your apparently very impressive hands, these pitches have developed over the time that you've been here. I think it's fair to say. Where do you feel like you've gotten better, and how have you gotten better?
I feel like I've gotten better in my secondary stuff, a lot better, especially this year, just making the jump this year with my cutter and my changeup, being able to trust those pitches more and throwing them more. I feel like they've developed more throughout the year, getting better throughout the year the more that I've thrown them. And then just having confidence in the fastball. I mean, everybody's like, it's not an overpowering fastball where it's mid to upper 90s, but at the same time, like y'all said, it's hard to hit. And so just kind of trusting that, like, okay, I can throw the 92, 94, and it'll be hard to hit. Mm-hmm. So just kind of trusting the pitches and throwing them where they're called, hitting my spots. So
you may have answered this question a little bit with that answer, but Adam and I were actually earlier in this podcast talking about, like, you just seem very confident when you're out there. How do you try and keep, and I mean, obviously just like any pitcher in history, there's going to be some hits off you, there's going to be some runs off. Like, how do you stay confident when you're out there, regardless?
Just as a reliever, you just got to have a short memory. Talking to Coach Gaines before the season when they told me that I was going to be in the bullpen, I was just like, okay. And he's like, well, just remember, like, you got to have a short memory. Like, we can roll you out there Friday, you give up a game-winning home run, or you could give up and lose the game for us, but at the same time, like, we'll roll you back out there Saturday, and you can't let a Friday game affect the Saturday game. And so just having this short memory and knowing that there's going to be some adversity in each game in a different way, and so just attacking each pitch.
What do you think it is about you that enables you to do that? Because you seem like you have a very low heart rate just on a day-to-day basis.
Just taking a deep breath and just kind of just relaxing. I mean, I feel like the more somebody stresses, the more pressure they put on themselves. So if you just relax and go with it and know that you've prepared the way that you have, and you put yourself in the best position possible for it.
So you have started before at Carolina. What do you like about being in the bullpen? I mean, obviously you've excelled in that role, but what do you like about that?
Just anything can happen at any time kind of a thing. I mean, this year I've came out of the bullpen early, I've came out late. It's just kind of the wait and hear your name called, and then when it's finally called, it's like, all right, like something snaps, and you're like, all right, like it's go time. Like
right.
The adrenaline starts flowing, and then like you're in at the heat of the game. Like it's either going to happen through you, or you're either going to win or lose the game. So,
what's your run out music? I don't even know what it is. What is it?
It's Brantley Gilbert. It's About to Get Dirty.
I think you got a little happy when you were saying that.
Yeah, because a lot of the guys just they love it, so they just kind of go with it.
Who's the guy in the bullpen most likely to say the most unpredictable thing when y'all are sitting there just kind of killing time?
Poston.
Really?
Yeah, he's a character.
How so?
Just you never know what's going to come out of his mouth. Just everything he does. I mean, even last year, like he would pick the third, and we don't even have a pick the third call. And so, like, he would just be standing on the mound about to be going in, and he'd just be picking the third, and we're like, dude, what are you doing? It was just like every time you hear a ball hit the wall down there, it's probably him just throwing the ball, just hitting the wall, just on purpose, like not even like throwing with anybody. He's just so. I mean, he's just he's a funny guy. He keeps it light down there. I mean, but it's fun. I mean. It's kind of what makes our bullpen unique is just everybody's just kind of free-flowing down there, and they keep each other ready.
I was going to say this, and we've said this before, this just seems like it's an easy team to root for. I would think it is a fun team to be a part of.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is talking to Coach Forbes and even Coach Gatz said that, like, this team is the most, like, team that he's had and seen in a long time just because everybody's pulling for everybody. I mean, you've seen it last night with Castagnazzi. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's not hard to give up a starting role and just kind of like sit back. But, I mean, every play, every pitch, he's up there on the fence just cheering for our guys. And then, I mean, no coincidence, last night he comes in and does what he does. So, I mean, that's just the leadership role that he's in and how mature he is.
Coach Forbes talked a lot Monday night about all the work you've done in the weight room and the stuff you've done just off the mound to get ready to be who you are on the mound. What do you feel like you've done that's been most beneficial?
Probably preparing mentally. Like y'all said, that kind of keeping that confidence each outing, and that's hard for a pitcher, especially if they're going through a rough patch. But just kind of playing the mental game of, all right, like I'm here for a reason, that kind of thing. Knowing that you do the stuff in the weight room to prepare, the stuff in the bullpens to prepare, knowing that your stuff's better than the hitter, that kind of thing.
What do you like to do away from baseball?
I'm a country boy, so I like to go hunting and fishing.
There you go.
Yeah.
We were talking before we went on the air. You played Legion ball for Bobby Dale Reynolds, who Chad Flack also played for. So Chad Flack feels like every time you strike someone out, he actually struck that person out. What's the most direct criticism that Bobby Dale Reynolds ever gave you, and how did you then act on that?
I'm trying to see how I can make this PG.
Jones can bleep it out.
Yeah, if I have to.
He basically told me I just got to get.
Yeah. I tell Adam that every day,
yeah.
Dalton.
That's basically what he told
studio.
me. He told me that if I wanted to play at the next level, I just had to get better. I just had to get in the weight room, do the necessities and more to get to where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the least likely to be a country boy on the current roster?
Wow.
Least likely.
Like, who's got no shot?
Surprisingly, my roommate, Bovair. He's from New York, and there's nothing country about him. He's all city boy.
In what way?
I mean, he drives a Honda Civic.
First of all.
One time I put him in the fall, I put him in jeans and boots to go to dinner, and he's just like, he said it was the most uncomfortable he's ever felt at a dinner in his life. But we have fishing rods at our house. Like, whenever it was duck season, I had my shotgun at the house, and he was just like, what do you even do with that? He's like, I wouldn't even know how to load that if somebody tried to tell me how.
It's like the Odd Couple.
Yeah.
It's like
but
all right, heading into the Super Regional round this weekend against West Virginia, and we're not going to get into the weeds of the matchup itself, but what in your mind is important this weekend and hopefully beyond that for you guys to continue to have the success that you want to have?
Probably just focusing on ourselves, not worrying too much about the opponent, but just trying to make sure that we do what we need to do to prepare for this weekend. We know it's going to be a sold-out crowd this weekend. The fans are going to show up for us again, and it's going to be great. And all the guys are looking forward to it. I mean, we have practice right now, and everybody's putting in work. People are in the weight room. People are throwing. I mean, everybody's just getting ready to prepare themselves.